Hello everyone, welcome to Word Comparison. According to Islam, Almighty sent His messengers and prophets in every era, in every community. But here in this family tree of the prophets, we will discuss about main 25 prophets. This family tree starts with Adam and Eve, like biblical version of family tree. So let's start with Adam. According to Islam, Adam was the first man on this earth. Almighty created him in heaven, and from his left rib He created his wife Hawa, means Eve. They were thrown on earth from heaven as a punishment because they had eaten prohibited plants fruit. And with the son and daughters of Adam and Eve, this word is running. 25 individuals highlighted on the Islamic chart are all considered to be prophets in Islam, whereas on the biblical chart, the word prophet is used only for certain individuals, such as Moses and Elijah. So for example, in Islam, Adam is seen as a prophet, whereas in Judaism and Christianity, he isn't. According to one Islamic tradition, Adam and Hawa had two sets of twins, a boy named Kabil, who had twin sister named Iklimia, and a boy named Habil, who had twin sister named Layuda. Those familiar with the Bible will recognize the two boys as being Cain and Abel. Anyhow, Adam arranged for Kabil to marry Habil's twin sister and Habil to marry Kabil's twin sister. But as the story goes, Kabil got angry because he felt that his own twin sister was more attractive and he wanted to marry her. Therefore, Kabil killed his younger brother Habil. And Sheesh, Seth, was the third son of Adam. Well, according to the various Abrahamic traditions, Adam and Eve had many other children beyond those listed by name. For now, let's just continue looking at the tree. The next major prophet in Islam is Idris, and he is generally seen as being the equivalent of the biblical Enoch. According to Islamic tradition, Idris is the first human to use a pen and the first to pursue astronomy and other sciences. He was also great-grandfather of Nuh, better known in the West as Noah. You will notice I have made Noah's box a little bigger as well as several other letter boxes such as Ibrahim's and Moses. This is because these prophets are known as the Ulul Azmi or ark prophets. Ulul Azmi literally means the unwavering ones, and out of the 25, only 5 are given the special status. Noah, of course, is the best known as being the man who built the ark, who thus survived great flood along with a few other humans and a bunch of animals. One main difference between the biblical version and the Quranic version is that in Islam, Noah had 4 sons instead of just 3, and that his 4th son drowned in the flood, as well as Noah's wife, in both cases because they did not believe Noah's message. The next 2 prophets, Hud and Saleh, are not characters found in the Hebrew Bible. Hud might correspond to the briefly mentioned descendant of Noah named Eber, but Saleh is not mentioned at all. However, in the Quran, there is a story about a tribe in Arabic called Samud, who demanded Saleh give them a sign from Allah, God. In response to the demand, God made female camel miraculously appear out of a stone and provide them milk every second day. But eventually, the people injured the camel, and for this, their city was destroyed by extremely loud sound. We now come second of the 5 prophets, Prophet Ibrahim. Prophet Ibrahim is like a chain which connects Islam, Judaism and Christianity. They all believe in Prophet Ibrahim, Christian and Jews as Abraham. Prophet Ibrahim had 2 wives, Hajara, Hagar and Sarah. His son Ismail was from Hajra, and Ishaq, Isaac, was born by Sarah, and they both were also prophets. Since Abraham to Jesus, all the prophets came in the generation of Ishaq, like Moses and Solomon etc. But the final messenger, Prophet Muhammad, was born in the generation of Ismail. So Ismail is the ancestor of the Arab people and therefore of the Prophet Muhammad, whereas Ishaq is the ancestor of Banu Israel, meaning house of Israel. Most important difference between Islamic version of Ibrahim's life and biblical version concerns the sacrifice of his son. In the Bible, Ibrahim is commanded to sacrifice his second-born son Ishaq, whereas in the Islam, the person in the sacrifice is generally understood to have been the Ibrahim's first-born son Ismail. In Islam, both Ismail and Isaac are considered to have been prophets, as well as Ibrahim's nephew Lut. Lut is equivalent of the biblical Lot, and in Islam, the story of God destroying the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah pretty much mirrors the biblical story. According to Muslims, Ibrahim took Ismail to Mecca, where together they built the Kaaba, which today is the most sacred site in Islam. When Muslims pray, they always pray in the direction of Kaaba. When Ibrahim was about to leave Ismail with his his mother Hajra in Mecca. Hajra, Hagar asked, "Who will take care of us?" To which Ibrahim replied, "Allah will." After they are left alone, Hajra runs between two nearby hills, Safa and Marwa, 7 times searching for water. When she returns to Ismail empty-handed, a miraculous spring suddenly appears, which is known as Zamzam water well today. All of the remaining prophets come from Ishaq, with the exception of Shuaib and Muhammad, peace be upon him. After Ishaq, his son Yaqub, Jacob, and Yusuf, Joseph. In the Quran, Yusuf is unique in his story. The chapter of the Quran that deals with Yusuf is one of the most detailed narratives in the whole book. Yaqub had 12 sons, out of which Yusuf was his favorite. His other brothers were jealous and ended up throwing him in a well, where he ends up being sold as a slave to Egypt to man named Al-Aziz, who in the Bible named as Potiphar. Years later, Potiphar's wife becomes infatuated with Yusuf. Because of her, where ends up becoming known as person who can interpret dreams. He ends up correctly interpreting the dreams of the Pharaoh, for which he is then made prime minister of the entire country. The next two prophets do not come from the line of Yaqub. In Islam, Ayub, who is known as Job in the Bible, is thought to have been a descendant of Yaqub's brother, whereas Shuaib is thought to have been a descendant of another son of Ibrahim, known as Mahdian. Most scholars believe that Shuaib is the person Jethro in the Hebrew Bible. He was a priest in the land of Midian, which was located in Sinai Peninsula, and it was his daughter Safura, in Hebrew Zipporah, who became the wife of the next major prophet of Islam, Musa. The name Musa is mentioned in the Quran lots of times, more than any other prophet. Musa is one of in 4 prophets who is given holy book. Quran is the most holy book in Islam. First one is Torah, better known as Torah, which was given to Prophet Musa because of his association with Torah. Musa is one of the most important prophet in Judaism. We now come to the most mysterious of the 25 prophets, Zul-Kifl. In fact, some Muslim scholars do not consider him to have been a prophet at all. He is only mentioned in the Quran twice. The only thing we know about him is that he preached in Babylon, and his name means owner of the double. Next one, Daud and Suleiman. In Bible, David and Solomon. This father and son pair descend from a son of Yaqub named Yehuda or Judah, whereas Musa and Harun come from Levi or Lavi. Daud is also associated with a specific holy book, Zabur. I will point out the Suleiman. Suleiman is the name that has been used by many Islamic monarchs over the centuries, most notably by the greatest of the Ottoman Sultan, Suleiman the Magnificent. Next prophet is Ilyas and his successor, Al-Yasa, both of whom are thought in Islamic tradition to be descendant of Harun and who correspond to the biblical Elijah. In Islam, Ilyas is often associated with a figure called Khizr. Although he is not mentioned by name in the Quran, Khizr appears in the accounts of several prophets, most notably Ilyas. Who exactly Khizr was or is up for a debate. Some see him as a kind of angel, where others see him as a saint. I should also mention that although Ilyas or Elijah isn't considered to be one of the arch prophet in Islam, is generally considered to be one of the 2 most important prophets in Judaism, the other being Moses. Okay. Another prophet mentioned in the Quran is Yunus, who correspond to the biblical Jonah, was the prophet who got swallowed by the giant fish. Now, Zechariah. In Old Testament, Zechariah was the priest and was the father of Yahya, who in the New Testament is known as the John the Baptist. According to the Quran, Zechariah's wife had a sister who was married to an elderly man named Imran. Imran was the father of Maryam, but then after Imran's death, Maryam came under the guardianship of Zechariah. Maryam, for Christians, Mary, is also a very important figure in Islam. Her son, Isa, known to Christian as Jesus in both Christianity and Islam. Mary is said to give birth to Jesus as a virgin. In Christianity, Jesus have a father. In Islam, Isa simply did not have a father. So for Muslims, Isa is not the son of God. He is the messenger of God. He is said to have received the third of the holy book, Injil. Injil means gospel. Muslims believe that there was once an original gospel revealed to Isa, but now lost, upon which the 4 surviving New Testament gospel were based. The final thing to note about Isa is that many Muslims, like many Christians, believe in some sort of second coming or return of Jesus, which will occur at the end of history. Okay, now we come to the most important prophet of Islam, Prophet Muhammad. According to Islam, Muhammad, peace be upon him, was the final prophet, and he is hence known as Khatiman Nabiyyin, which means the seal of prophets. In other words, after Muhammad, Allah's direct communication with the human servants ended and was sealed according to Islam, Allah revealed to Muhammad the final and the most important book, Quran. But for Muslims, it's just not a book, it's the literal words of God, and not a single part of it can be changed. Muslims believe that Quran was not just inspired by God, it was literally dictated word for word in a classical Arabic by Allah to Muhammad. As I mentioned earlier, Muhammad is said to be descendant of Ismail. The genealogy is not given in the Quran, but there is a well-established tradition that traces his link back to a patrilineal ancestor named Adnan, who in turn was said to have been descendant of Ismail from early Islamic tradition. We also have quite a lot of details about the Prophet Muhammad's immediate family. For example, we know the name of his father, his mother, and many of his wives. The first of which was named Khadija. Only 4 of his biological children lived to adulthood, all 4 being daughters that he had with Khadija. However, of these 4 daughters, only one, Fatima, has descendants that are still living today through her sons Hassan and Hussein. Fatima married Muhammad's first cousin Ali. According to Shia Muslims, Ali was the legitimate successor of Muhammad, whereas according to Sunni Muslims, Muhammad was first succeeded by his father-in-law Abu Bakr, second by his father-in-law Umar, third by his son-in-law Osman, and then fourth by his son-in-law Ali. Sunni Muslims consider these 4 men to have been first 4 caliphs of Islam, and they refer to them as the Rashidun, meaning rightly guided ones. After the death of Ali, the caliphate was first held by Umayyad's dynasty, the family of Usman, and then by Abbasid dynasty. You can see in the chart these dynasties, the Umayyads used white flag and the Abbasids used black flag, were both closely related to the Prophet. So please like and share this video, and do not forget to subscribe to our channel. Thank you.